Greetings, pod fans.
It's day 27 of Pod Vahida.
Pod videos himself every day in April.
And today I want to do a little update on my driving. Because on the 23rd of March, way back, a long time ago, it's been over a month since I started making... I made a video entitled Driving Scares Me, but only once I'm out of the car. And today I want to do a quick little update. I still only have a provisional license and I've never got any actual formal lessons yet. That is because of the current state of the world. Yeah, so I can't get like proper lessons from a driving instructor until restrictions are removed, like lessened still. As far as I'm aware, like, don't quote me on that, but as far as I'm aware, I cannot. It's because they're only taking people who have a dated exam. So an actual exam that you can, like, you've got in the book where they're like, yes, this is the day that I'm doing my driving test. But I've done a little bit of driving since then. I've just gone out whenever I can. Not a whole load, but any bit of experience has been super helpful. So the last time I talked about this, the main point of the video was how my anxiety creeped up. And it was always after the fact. It was always once I was out of the car, once the engine was off, once I was back at home, safe and sound. And that is still a little bit. It has gotten better in the small amount of time since then. And I didn't do anything special to, like, fix or resolve, or I didn't really do anything other than drive. And that, I'm learning, is the only way to make those feelings better. Driving it's like riding a bike, but there's so much more steps involved. But yeah, there was a while, I think there was like 2 weeks or a little bit more that I didn't get behind the wheel of a car. Yeah, just like life was, I was busy. I couldn't go anywhere with anyone. No one was like available to. So I just didn't get behind the wheel of a car. And then there was driving to be done, just go out and, you know, like, just do a little drive to, like, keep my skills sharp. So we went out and I was freaking out a little bit. You know, it had been 2 weeks or something like that, and I was very worried. I was very worried that I would just forget everything, or that I'd sit behind the car and I would be like, or I would make a ton of mistakes. I made mistakes, but I just did it. It all just, like, was there in, like, it just worked. I stalled a number of times. I had issues with gear changes and, like, stopping and things, but I got through it. I got through it, and, like, even now, I'm much more confident. I think I was spoiled with how quickly I learned how to drive on the road, because I was driving in a car park, and that same day, I drove home on the road. It was literally around the corner. But I went from car park driving and not having driven in 9 years to road driving. And then the next time I was out, I did, like, practicey things, and then I was on the road. So the fact that, like, in a week or two, I was able to comfortably, like, drive on the road, taking any amount of time off has... I thought that it was going to absolutely ruin me. But yeah, it didn't. Yeah, I can drive, and that is very cool to me. But yes, I went for a fairly long drive today. We went to Woody's. There's no better buy in DIY. Thank you. I got myself a houseplant. Maybe I'll show you that someday. He's got a cool name, and he's my little son. But onto the driving. Yes, so there was a lot. I stalled a number of times. There was a distance to go. On the way back, we went on is it a dual carriageway? I can't remember road names, but I went up to over 100 kilometers per hour, which is fast. The fastest I've ever driven, but I did it. I got home. I went through a freaky, spooky roundabout. But I made it through all of that. I got home. I was fine. I played video games. Played the raft. We finished the story now, so we're on to Deep Rock Galactic, which is another cool game. But yeah, it was only then processing it recently that I was like, oh, okay, yes. It's only been one real jump of, huh, spooky, that could have gone wrong. not half as bad as it was when I first talked about this. So yeah, if you're experiencing the same things that I talked about in that, where you just overthink it every time you get out of the car, or you overthink it before, the only medicine from my experience that has worked is driving more and doing more and proving to yourself that you are good at this and you know what you're up to. But yeah, I wanted to give a quick update because I finished with that drive today and I was thinking about it and I was like, I'm good. That was good. I did a good drive. But yeah, I'm feeling confident about driving and I just want to start lessons. You have to do 12 lessons. If you don't know this, in Ireland you must do 12 actual lessons with an actual instructor before you can even take the test. I know how to drive. I probably have some bad habits and I 100% would fail a test right now. 100%. But I know how to move a car. But I still need to do 12 lessons that aren't even running at the moment, that I can't even start before I can book my test. It's annoying. I've had so many years to do this when I could have done it in normal time. But yeah, it is kind of weird to me that I'm getting a lot more confident with driving, and I'm like, yes, let me grab my car keys and hop in a car and go somewhere. But I've never had any formal instruction. It's strange, but also it just kind of makes sense to me. I'm like, yeah, I just hop in the car and I zoom and we're good with that. Yeah, it's a weird system, but it makes me happy. So now I've been forgetting to add questions at the end of these, which still getting comments, but I have to be asking you to do the things so that you remember to do the things. Ugh, silly me. So, do you know how to drive? If yes, how long did it take you to learn? Are you still learning? How long did it take you to actually just go, oh, I am a good driver, I know what I'm up to, and stop overthinking every drive? If you don't know, an estimate would be nice. Because I don't think I'm ever, well, I definitely will eventually, but right now I'm still driving is such a big thing, spook. And if you don't know how to drive, if you haven't learned how to drive, are you afraid of it? Because that is something that was so true for me. I was afraid of being behind a car, feeling like I wouldn't, mentally I wouldn't be all there, and I would, just make a mistake. And also, I thought that it would be so much tougher to learn. When I first, sat behind the wheel of a car back 9 or 10 years ago, I don't know, it was just I got the car moving eventually and stuff, but my brain just couldn't process. And then when I picked it up again, so easy. I had it in my head that it was going to be the hardest thing in the world. So yeah, if you have an interest in driving, but you are afraid to do it, get your provisional test done, get that theory test out of the way, and then just learn slowly in a car park. Just try it. Or don't. If you have an interest in it, try it. Give it a shot. It probably won't be as bad as you expect, but just find yourself someone with a full license, willing to take you out, who will be calm and who will respect your decisions, will tell you that you are capable of doing things, but won't tell you to do things. That's my sister helped me so much with the driving, because we were driving around that car park industrial estate thing the first time that I properly went out, and she was telling me how I was getting it. I was wow, okay, wow, you've made so much progress instantly, blah blah, hyping me up, being that good hype man. And then she said that I could drive home if I wanted. If I wanted. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know. So I drove around a little bit more, and then I just went, I can do it. So yeah, the no pressure approach is what helped for me, being told you can do this, not you have to do this. It really got me over like that, and yeah, now I just took off from there. So yeah, sorry. If you don't have someone like that in your life, maybe an instructor, like, you can just be like, no, I'm paying you. We will go around this car park for the next several hours. No, they'll give a time slot. But, you know, yes. But moral of the story, try driving. It's not the worst. And finally, tomorrow, spoiler alert, I'm going to be talking about co-op games I've played in the past while. And how good they are, because we are still in the COVID space, in the pandemic world. And co-op games have been really handy for me because it's most of my socializing. So I'm going to go through a list of things. If you have any co-op games that you play with friends, or things that you have played in the past while, online, without needing to be in person, let me hear about it. It could be like, you know, role-playing games, it could be video games, it could be something. But yeah, let me know what your favorite ones have been. I'm going to be talking about my favorite ones, and then I'll go through what other people had. So yeah, that could be fun. That's an interesting question. But yeah, that is all for today. I hope you are doing alrighty then, because that'd be good. Yeah, so talk to you tomorrow. Slán.